Hey Stonewall teachers, today I'm just going to show you how to use the lesson plan template that was pushed out to you. You're going to see that a lot of the components are very similar to your school-wide expectations for lesson planning, but I did add some components that are just for special ed teachers. So today to show you how to do this, I chose a third grade standard just because it's in the middle. And I wanted to focus on writing because we haven't done a lot of professional development surrounded writing together. So the standard that I chose is write informative explanatory text to examine a topic and convey ideas and information clearly. And I'm pretending like on this Monday, we're focused on develop the topic with facts, definitions, and details. So in your templates, we have the vertical alignment linked, which is always going to be helpful for planning, especially when we're trying to close gaps and fill in those prerequisite skills for our kids. I actually was thinking about how to use some SDI methodology for this, and I chose SRSD. And I just created another little section here because honestly, it was too much to just type that in one of the columns, and it was kind of like visually unappealing. So I just added a little methodology section so that I can keep myself organized. And this SRSD strategy I got from this website, which I am putting in the email as well, but I have some SRSD resources here for writing. And this is nice because it already has some like posters and things for you, but this is by all means not the only thing that you can use. A strategy that's great for writing that our kids need, especially for test taking, which they may or may not actually do this year, but they'll still need it, is the RACE strategy. So restate, answer, cite evidence, and explain your evidence. Or CER is really useful, especially when responding to social studies and science prompts as well. And CER is just claim, evidence, reasoning. So it's a little shorter. It's very similar to RACE. But today I chose the TIDE strategy, and I got this poster off of the website. So TIDE is just an acronym to help your kids remember, okay, I need to introduce my topic, I need to provide important evidence, I need to have a detailed examination of that evidence, and then I need to have an ending. I like that because it goes along with our standard and I can focus on different parts of it. So I said to teach SRSD, I have my steps here listed out: activate background knowledge, discuss it, model it, memorize it, support it, and then develop independence. And I'm going to let you read those independently so that I'm not taking up too much time in the video. But basically, I just thought about how would I do that with this explicitly teaching this acronym. So for my learning target or essential question, I wrote, how can I write informative texts using facts, definitions, and details to convey information clearly? That is focused on this like little subsection of the standard, but combined with the overall writing standard. So I'm pretending I'm in a co-taught classroom. I'm thinking, okay, if my Gen Ed co-teacher is doing something like modeling quickly and having the kids do some independent practice, I might need to pull an alternative station teaching group so that I can explicitly teach this TIDE strategy that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to state my teaching point. Today I'm going to show you how to write informative texts using facts, definitions, and details to convey information clearly. I'm just telling the kids, this is what you're expected to do. This is what I'm teaching you today. And then I'm going to say teacher will show students TIDE strategy using SRSD model. And today I'm focused on step 3. So I'm pretending like I've already done some work surrounding this and we're really hitting step 3 hard today. To increase student engagement and interest, I'm going to choose a high interest text. So I chose NBA starts new basketball championship for kids. Group will read text and teacher will model highlighting important evidence to address prompt. How is the NBA helping children develop their basketball skills? You need to give them a prompt, otherwise they don't know what evidence they're looking for, what it's related to. And then I have here a link to the graphic organizer that they can complete as they work. So here's the graphic organizer. Introduce your topic. Let's go back. I is for important evidence. D is for detailed examination. So again, this is fairly similar to race. Still, like, what is your evidence? What does that evidence mean? What is your examination of that evidence, or how are you explaining it? All of those kind of writing strategies are pretty similar, so you can use any of them in your class. Just chose this one today because it was new for me. I found my article from News ELA, which is my favorite because you can change the Lexile level of every article that they have. And you also have a read aloud feature if you want to assign it to kids. But if you don't, you can just print it. Also, when you print, you can choose to have the article only, or you can choose to have a quiz. That's great for collecting data on comprehension objectives, no matter what subject. News ELA has great articles for science and social studies as well. So I have here this text, and I've lowered the Lexile level to 410. I'm thinking, okay, I'm in 3rd grade, but maybe my kids are 1 or 2 grade levels below. I want to make this accessible for them so that they can read it on their own. But then I would be modeling how to highlight information related to my prompt. So my prompt is, how is the NBA helping children develop their basketball skills? I'm going to model that for kids. The whole time I'm looking, how is the NBA helping kids develop basketball skills? And I'm going to highlight some of those important facts and details that I'm finding in this article so that I'm prepared to write about it later. Then I can fill out my graphic organizer. So in your skills-based small group, that's probably more when you might be spending time filling out that graphic organizer. Your goal maybe for the day is to write with clarity. Your goal might be just find facts. It would depend on your kids. And then your IEP objectives targeted. So I pulled up a data sheet from some of my kids from a few years ago, and I'm going to look. Okay, so Sean was supposed to be able to use a rubric. I don't know that we're really to that point yet because we're not at the end of our writing process. So I'm not going to address Sean's objective today. Jamari is using correct punctuation and capitalization. I can absolutely check that in his work today. Even in his work on his graphic organizer, I can remind him, we're going to write in complete sentences. Show me where your punctuation is. Show me your capitalization at the beginning of each sentence. Theo is citing textual evidence using quotation marks. I can teach him how to pull the evidence out of the article and quote the evidence. And then using transition words, well, we're not going to do that yet because we're just filling out a graphic organizer. China also had the same objective for this class. So I know that today I can focus on Jamari is going to have capitalization and punctuation, and Theo and China are focused on cite evidence using quotations. Now I know that I can explicitly be teaching those things as we fill out the graphic organizer and as we look for things within the article. And that's just an easy way to really be targeting those unique needs of those learners. Now, for assessment, I really believe that filling out this graphic organizer is an assessment. Can they do it? So I'm just going to write assessment is completion of graphic organizer and IEP objective data. I mean, honestly, that's also assessments that are going to inform your instruction. Then for sharing, I might say each student will share with group one piece of evidence they found significant. All right, that's a great closure to your lesson, and your kids are going to be sharing with one another. To me, if this is how your lesson plan looks, you are touching on SDI methodologies, you're addressing some accommodations for your kids, you're having a high interest text, you're giving a graphic organizer, and you're also addressing IEP objectives. You are doing everything that you need to be doing as a special ed teacher. And that's fine if you want to, like within the mini lesson, copy paste your gen ed teacher's plans, as long as you are aware of what co-taught model you need to be using and how you're going to modify or accommodate things so that your students can access it. Remember that preferred co-taught models are alternative station teaching, which is when you pull a small group during the mini lesson, station teaching, which would be when you and your co-teacher are both running small groups, parallel teaching, when you split the class, and then sometimes team teaching, when you're both like up there teaching, but you want to limit that because it doesn't address the unique needs of your learners quite as much. And then you especially want to limit one teach, one assist, or one teach, one observe. So just make sure that you're aware of your co-taught models. If you're a co-teacher, if you're a pullout teacher, you're going to need to be more aware of, like, what is my para doing? How can my para support me if you have a para? If not, then you just need to worry about what you're doing, and you don't need to worry about the other adults in the room. So let me know if you guys have any questions about this. This is something that you're probably going to have to work up to because this is not something you've been doing all year. So don't feel intimidated or feel like this has to look perfect right away. But I want you to especially try and plan for not just objective data collection, but teaching, explicitly and systematically teaching those objectives with grade level content. And the way that you're going to teach that grade level content is by providing accommodations and modifications for your kids so that they can be successful. So thinking about things like Lexile level, thinking about graphic organizers, all those things are going to help your kids grow. So let me know if you have any questions. Love you guys. I'll miss you while I'm out. Bye.